Hello and welcome to the Watopia ZRS New Year New PR 2-mile personal best attempt.
Nice.
It will be starting in approximately 45 seconds and we have about 100 runners. Weather looks very good here, but as we know in Watopia the weather can change in a matter of minutes. This is the brand new track that they added in Zwift I think a couple of weeks ago, and the date of this event is December 18th. Alright, we're about ready to get started here. And we can now see the runners. Not all of them are running. 3 of the runners up front. Okay, one of them just got on the treadmill, and we're almost ready to start. Now, I'm going to treat this as a race, even though it isn't, just for trial purposes. And we're off. Here we go. And we can see immediately that the guy in the purple shirt is in the lead, so I'm going to see if I can track him down. And wow, that is a lot of runners. Now there will also be other runners on the track as well, so this isn't a defined group as it is normally for a race. But again, this is a trial video. So let's see if we can find the lead runner. And it's interesting how the avatars run around the track when passing people. I don't know if the passing is random, if it puts you to the outside or the inside, how that works. Okay, let's see. It looks like we're getting close to the top here. And there it is. P. Reynolds is the leader. He is currently running at, wow, 19 kilometers per hour, or about 311 per kilometer. And one of the ways you can judge the relative effort of a runner in Zwift is to look at their heart rate. And of course, there are different ways of recording the heart rate. You can have a chest strap or you can have a watch. And some of them, of course, are more accurate than others. You can also look at the cadence, and currently this runner is at 182 steps per minute. And then another way to analyze a race performance is to see how they're performing over time. So here we have P. Reynolds, who's already flown through the first 500 meters, and at this rate he's going to be lapping people pretty quickly. It's interesting how the graphics are done in Zwift. It's hard to tell if that's actual running speed from a runner's perspective, but it looks pretty quick. So he's slid into a comfortable 3:16 pace at 180 steps per minute, which I think is defined as the ideal cadence. Now, of course, that depends on the runner too and their stride length. There were 3 runners behind him in the first 400 who within 20 seconds. I won't be able to toggle and see them again as this is not a defined list of runners. And he is just flying. Okay. It's amazing how fast it goes when you're narrating it. And we're ready done with the first 800 meters. One of the advantages of running with a treadmill, of course, is that you can perfectly time your speed in a race, so you don't have to worry about what a lot of amateur runners do is they go out too fast and then they wind up getting tired towards the end of a race and slow down. Of course, that's easier to do if you're doing a race on a track, but on a road race, it's pretty challenging. So Reynolds is closing in on the first kilometer. We're still running around 3:17. And I've given him a thumbs up. I'm adding some text commentary as well for the runners to see in real time. And I don't know what the quality of this recording will be like. Hopefully it's okay. We'll see. Now, if Reynolds finishes the race while I'm watching him and then leaves Zwift, he may kick me out of watching the other runners. So what I'll do is go back and see if I can locate the second fastest runner, or if not, someone who is close to finishing. So holding pace, very steady. This is equivalent to 3:15, let's see, 75, so wow, it's about a 16-minute and 15-second 5K pace. Now, of course, it being only 2 miles, which is an unusual distance to run a personal best on, but that's quite quick. And what you can do is you can take your 2-mile time and then input it into one of the conversion applications, which you can search through Google, and it'll tell you what the equivalent 5 or 10 kilometer time is. There's a lot of charts out there. Yep, I've kind of lost the pack behind him again. It's a little bit hard to see, but we're at the halfway point. Devlin and Zen are, I believe, the 2 runners that were behind him. Now, I don't know for the rest of you whether or not treadmill is easier running than running outdoors. A lot of people use a 1% incline to supposedly make it equivalent to outdoor running. It would be nice if we had a track like this in real life. It's absolutely beautiful. Of course, the field is not usable, so it would just be for running only. Yeah, so I'm predicting that Reynolds is going to finish in around 10:25. And I'll give him some encouragement as we get to within the last 400-600 meters. I plan to record another run, probably one of the 5.7 kilometer ones, or if there's a 5 or 10K race out there, and that should be a lot of fun. Also looking into getting a second person so we can have a dialogue going back and forth. The nice thing about running so fast is that the race is over pretty quickly. Coming up on a kilometer to go, and he's still smoking down that track. It almost looks like the runners around him are in slow motion. Alright, Reynolds. Hard to tell whether or not it's morning or evening on the Watopia track. And of course, we don't know the virtual temperature, but judged by how everyone is dressed, it looks like a pretty balmy 60-70 degrees, maybe warmer. And it being on the ocean, I'd imagine it's pretty humid. Okay, closing in. Still maintaining his cadence and pace, which is indicative of a good run, if you can do that. We have about 600 meters to go. So he's running at 3:15. Let's see if he starts to kick. Usually runners start, well, it depends, of course, if you're an Olympic athlete or just a club runner, when you start accelerating. I like to do it in the last 400 meters. So 181 and 313. And I'm trying to throw some encouragement out there. And he's picking up. I saw 309, 181. So picking up a little bit, trying to close in on that final lap. And I think he's got about a minute to go. I'm not too familiar with this runner, but as we do these videos, we'll get to know a lot of the runners. And we'll not only highlight the fastest runners, but also do clips on other runners as well who may not be in the top 10 or 20. All right, go, go, go. Let's see if he makes 10:25. All right, holding steady at 310 and just powering through the last 200 meters. And I'm sorry, my computer just went blanked out. Here we go, 19.2 kilometers per hour. Not all of us have treadmills that go that fast as well, although most go up to, I think, 12 miles per hour. 50 meters, closing in, and it looks like he's going to hit just about 10:25. And he did. So it stopped at 3.18, but I guess that's 3.2. I don't know what happens if you're running in more of an outside lane. Oh, and we have lost him. So we'll go back to the group. I'll see if I can find them. So what I was saying is running in the outside lane. Does that add distance in Zwift or not when you're passing someone? Okay. There we go. I figured how to get back in there. So let's track another runner. C. Wang, 3:36. So he may be in second place. And there he is. Okay. 187. So slightly higher cadence, and the time is varying a little bit more. So this could be a foot pod. The first runner had a pretty steady pace. This looks like it's jumping between around 330 to 345. 200 meters to go, and I just got my paparazzi achievement. Come on, Wang, go, go, go. 330, so picking up a little bit, and should be in at a little bit over 12 minutes for 2 miles. Wow, so that's a 6-minute mile pace. That's pretty good. Here he comes. 318. Slowing down a little bit. And he's done. Alright, well done, C. Wang. Alright, let's see if we can find a female runner. It's going to be quite interesting to narrate an actual race, because that way then I'll be able to see where the top 5 or 10 runners are placed. Okay, let's see who we have here. I also have to sort of figure out from the distance who is actually in this group. So I hope I'm not making any mistakes here. Alright. Our Pritchard looks like a candidate. And there she is in the sort of gray shirt, running at 4:43 pace, and wow, quite a high cadence for that. So her stride length must be smaller, and she's got about 550 meters to go. As expected, you know, with treadmill, the pace is going to be pretty steady. One of the things about treadmills is it would be handy if there was a way to like hold a remote and increase the speed without having to continuously push buttons on the treadmill itself. Alright, almost 2.8 kilometers, still at 446 and 187. We don't have a heart rate for Pritchard. I wonder how many of these runners are setting personal bests. Alright, let's go Pritchard, 400 meters. That's one of the greatest sights when you're running a race, is to see that finish line, especially when you're like about 50 meters away. It just feels so good. And you sort of have to discipline yourself to run through the finish line at full power before you slow down, because there's always a temptation to sort of ease up as you get there. Of course, you know, for us average runners, the difference of a tenth of a second doesn't matter that much. Alright, Pritchard. 3 kilometers. Another thing I'm going to have to figure out is how to get a consistent view on there so it doesn't keep alternating between views. And have I lost her? Where is she? 108. It's interesting. That runner still. Oh, there she is. And finishing probably just around 16 minutes. Still running the same pace, so steady as she goes. And slowing down a little bit, so must have approached the end. Well done. Okay, I'm going to do one more runner, even though I think I have more than one more on this video, but for the narration part, I'll just do one more. Let's see who we can find here. And the rain is coming in. Here we go with that fickle weather conditions. So, watching Kay Abrams, 5:24 at a slower cadence, so that's expected. Oh, and the heart rate just flashed up, 160. And of course, heart rate depends also on your age, because your maximum heart rate as you get older will decline. 166 and 5:14 pace, so about 200 meters to go. Yeah, I've watched some videos where runners are just accelerating to incredible speeds in the last 100, 200 meters. It gets quite exciting. Alright, Abrams. Almost done here. Getting passed by somebody. She's on the inside lane, so tracking the course perfectly. And about 100 meters to go. Again, wondering if anyone set a personal best on this run today. That rain is coming down hard. That's we're in heavy showers. Okay, 30 meters to go, and she's slowing down. Well done, Abrams. Alright, I'm going to close the audio narration part of this. Thank you for listening.